Most trading journals promise the world, but leave you drowning in data with no clear edge. But what if the edge you're looking for isn't in the flashiest platform, but in the one you're overlooking? I tested TrendSpider, TipRanks Seeking Alpha, and TradeZella, and what I found may flip your trading approach. Stick around. By the end, you'll know which tool fits your strategy the best. So here's what I did first before even opening any of these platforms. I dove straight into the user reviews, because no matter how slick a tool looks, the real story usually lives in what people say after the purchase. Take TrendSpider, for example. It's got a solid 4.4 out of 5 stars and a pretty loyal crowd. But one user mentioned frustration over their yearly prepaid subscription, calling it unfair to existing customers. Now, I can't say exactly what happened there, maybe a timing issue or a promo change, but from what I saw, this kind of complaint is rare and not something that comes up often. When I stepped back from that, I found a lot more users praising TrendSpider for its depth and support. One guy said outright, TrendSpider is awesome, so many options to zero in on stocks or sectors. Plus, the support team and tutorials got shoutouts for being actually helpful here. Now, that isn't the kind of feedback you get if people feel cheated on, right? Like, to me, it says that the tool delivers solid value once you commit to it, and if you get that long-term yearly contract, then that's what you get. Now, let's pull back the curtain and get into what makes TrendSpider stand out, right? From my experience, this platform is built for serious traders who don't just dabble, they treat the market like an actual battlefield, and every second really does count. What grabbed me right away was their strategy development and backtesting. It's honestly the crown jewel here. You get to build fully customized strategies with no coding required, then immediately put them through the ringer using years of historical data. I loved that I wasn't just guessing if a setup might work. I actually knew it did because I saw the numbers. It felt like having a personal hedge fund analyst sitting right next to me running thousands of simulations so that I could spot the setups with the highest odds before anyone else. But with power comes complexity. If you're brand new to trading, or if you want someone to hold your hand through every step, TrendSpider can feel a little intimidating at first. I won't sugarcoat it, the learning curve is definitely there. But after spending some time with it, it quickly became second nature to me. And honestly, most serious traders I know prefer a system that's deep and robust over something dumbed down to be simple, right? So after TrendSpider, I turned to TipRanks. Known for its strong reputation and a solid 4.5 star rating, it's a pretty strong option. But even here, I found some concerns worth mentioning. One user pointed out that for a platform handling sensitive financial info, the ads and spam felt excessive and unprofessional. Now, honestly, I think that's a valid concern. No one wants to be bombarded with pop-ups or ads, especially when dealing with their finances on a platform that should seem super professional, right? But what stood out to me, though, was that the TipRanks team actually responded to this comment personally. They apologized and explained that ads are part of supporting their free version. They're clearly aware of the issue and working to improve the experience. So basically ads on a free version of a tool, right? On the flip side, many users rave about the platform. One even said that TipRanks gave him invaluable insights from top analysts and boosted his confidence in investing. So while the occasional glitch happens, or someone's experience with the free version might not be up to their standards for the number of ads, most people find TipRanks delivers the kind of data and clarity that makes a real difference. So what do you get from this day trading tool? TipRanks takes a fundamentally different approach than TrendSpider. It's not focused on technical charts or strategy automation. Instead, TipRanks zooms in on what I'd call the smart money signals, things like analyst sentiment, unusual options activity, and insider trades. For me, the biggest edge was being able to see what the big players were doing before the broader market caught onto them, right? If you lean on fundamentals and momentum shifts rather than just charts, TipRanks, I think, can really feel like a secret weapon. Now, that's not to say that it's perfect. If you're a hardcore chartist or you rely heavily on algorithmic trading, you might find it lacking in these real-time technical tools. But honestly, TipRanks was never designed to compete with something like TrendSpider on that front. Its strength lies exactly where it focuses, tracking market sentiment and big money moves. And it nails that better than most. And after trying TipRanks, I shifted to Seeking Alpha, especially curious about their Alpha Picks service. But before diving in, I did what I always do, and I checked the complaints first. One user said that he signed up for Alpha Picks, and then he realized within minutes that it wasn't what he wanted, but found out that it was non-refundable. Now, that's a pretty tough experience for sure. I don't know about all the details behind that case, but it seems like a rare one for this guy. Why? Because I just didn't find many complaints about refunds across these hundreds of reviews. But if you ever ran into this situation yourself, it's likely something you could sort out with a credit card dispute. But judging by how few complaints like this I found, I doubt it would even get that far. Most users seemed more than happy. One mentioned how the platform gave him all the tools he needed for proper equity research, especially pointing out how the analyst section helped him get a fuller perspective before making a call. For me, that broader view is exactly what made Seeking Alpha stand out. It's built for investors who don't want that surface level noise, but real insight from multiple sides. So what really makes Seeking Alpha stand out? While TrendSpider and TipRanks cater to more short and medium-term traders, Seeking Alpha plays a completely different game. When I explored their alpha picks, it felt more like having a research team on call. And these aren't just random stock ideas. They're carefully selected picks backed by quant models and long-form analysis. And the best part? They're delivered directly to your inbox, so you don't waste time hunting for ideas that actually check the boxes that you want, right? So with their exclusive investing groups, they've evolved from a research blog into a full-fledged investment ecosystem. Still, there are a few trade-offs to consider with Seeking Alpha. It's, for example, not the place to run scalping strategies or find intraday setups. And sometimes all this is a lot. The volume of analysis and opinions can feel overwhelming, especially if you're managing a bunch of open positions. But honestly, that's the trade you make for depth. Once I got comfortable filtering through the noise and following the correct contributors, the value just clicked for me. I wasn't just reading research, I was thinking more clearly about my own investing process. After spending time inside Seeking Alpha, I circled then around to TradeZella, a platform that I'd been hearing a lot about from other traders in Discord groups and forums. So naturally, I first dug into the reviews to see what people were really saying. One user mentioned buying the yearly plan after hearing great things, but ran into issues right away. Couldn't sync with his broker, found the manual entry process slow, and got turned down for a refund when he asked an hour later. Now, I don't know the full story behind his situation, but that kind of review was the exception, not the rule. Most likely a case of mismatched expectations. And let's be honest, no platform supports every broker perfectly. From what I saw, the majority of users here were actually saying the opposite. One guy called it a fantastic choice that ticks all the right boxes, especially highlighting the community, live webinars, and how the trade analysis helped him spot weaknesses in his setups that he'd completely overlooked before. And when over 90% of the reviews are glowing, along with a 4.7 star rating to back it up, the rare negative experience just doesn't paint the full picture. After going through all of the reviews, I finally sat down and started using TradeZella for myself. And honestly, it didn't take long to see where this platform shines. What stood out most to me was the backtesting feature. I could take the strategies that I'd been playing around with in my head and run them against the past performance of the market instantly. So no spreadsheets, no guesswork. It's all visual, intuitive, and actually useful. And unlike something like TrendSpider that helps you time and execute the trade, TradeZella is more about what comes after that. The review, the reflection, the self-improvement. I started seeing it less like a tool and more like a coach. It's not just helping you with the next setup, it's helping you get better for every trade after that. Now, of course, it's not perfect. if you're expecting real-time scanning or execution tools, you're going to be disappointed. It's not trying to be a broker or a screener, and it doesn't pretend to be. But that's exactly why it works so well for what it's built for. The value here is in the feedback loop. It holds up a mirror to your trading so that you can finally fix like what's been quietly dragging down your own results, right? And I think that's really useful. Now, we've covered the tech trade-offs for each platform, so you might be wondering, what's it going to cost me, right? Pricing can often be the deal breaker for these kinds of tools, but surprisingly, these best online stock trading tools offer solid value for what you get. They're all priced fairly for the niche that they serve. Check the links in the description for their current pricing and promos. So here's the bottom line. Each of these tools brings something different to the table, right? If you want real-time charting and strategy automation, TrendSpider is built for you. If you want to follow the smart money and understand what Wall Street insiders are doing, TipRanks stands out. If you're after deep research and quant-backed stocks picks, Seeking Alpha delivers. And if you're focused on improving your execution and learning from your own trades, TradeZella might be your best asset. No matter your trading style, there's a tool here that fits, and now you know exactly where each one shines. Check the links in the description to try them out and grab any available promos or discounts.